who wanted to get along with white people. Well, wake up, because this generation ain't no fear in us. None whatsoever. We're willing to die for what is right. We're willing to die for what our principles is. Right now, from the ages of 12 to 15 to the early 20s, a lot of us we see no value in our lives. So it's nothing for us to get up and go pick up a gun and kill a brother and sister. It is nothing for us to get up and go degrade ourselves. It is nothing for us to go do this foolishness and wickedness. Why? Because no one has taught us to do right. No one has been an example that we needed to be. So therefore, we're displaying complete savagery. You can't come talking about what somebody needs to do, how somebody needs to better themselves if you're displaying to them complete savagery. How can you tell somebody to be cultivated and civilized if you're being a savage? If you're the example and you're being something totally opposite of what you're telling them to be. Stop jeopardizing your progress. Stop jeopardizing your own progress. Stop jeopardizing your children's trust and love for you by lying to them. Parents, stop lying to your children about these spooky ass religion holidays. Stop telling them Christmas and Santa Claus and all that. Stop lying to these people about Easter Bunny and all this stuff, because y'all know good and damn well that is not true. Period. Our children do not want to hear, do as I say and not as I do. Our children do as they see you do. Our children follow the examples that's being put in front of them. We can sit here and take lightly what is being said and what is being done. Now, that's on you. But brothers and sisters, practice what the hell you preach. Start walking in the footsteps that you're talking about, and stop talking about a life that you ain't walking in. Stop talking about a life that you're not living. Stop talking about something that you're not doing yourself, because you are not qualified to talk about that life if you ain't walking them shoes that the same person talking about. You can't do that. You can't tell somebody to display to display civilization and you're displaying savagery. You can't tell our young women and girls, cover yourself, make sure you dress modestly, but you dressing like a hoochie mama just like them. Practice what you preach. Our people don't go to church because they don't want to hear what's going to condemn them. One thing I love about the Nation of Islam, you come as you are. But what you don't know is you ain't going to stay like you was. You going to come as you are, exactly how you are. And that means you won't strung out on drugs or whatever. But you can't stay like that. Because once you know the truth requires you to do better. So at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, before you go to talking about, what somebody needs to do, what somebody don't need to do, or what's this, or what's that, start practicing what you preaching. Stop trying to tell somebody about their life and you ain't living that life that you're talking about. See, the difference between me and people around me is I try to live the life that I'm talking about. I don't get up and say I'm a Muslim today, but next week I ain't a Muslim. No, I'm a Muslim 24/7, 24/7, 365. I am an MGT and striving to be the best one that I can be. Yes, I've fallen short. Yes, I've got a long ways to go. Yes, I have so much to learn. Yes, I have not mastered my 7 units. Yes, I have not been to class, every single class for the past since I've been registered, but I've come. Ever since I've gotten off maternity leave, I've been to class. I've been doing everything that I can to show myself worthy to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that my attendance in class is important to me. Because if I'm not coming to class, getting the information that I need, then how can I be sitting here talking about the MGT and GCC, but I'm not showing my black ass up to class? How can I sit here and talk about the mother of civilization, but I'm not going to class to learn how to be that? How can I sit here and say, we need to do better as a people, but I'm not being the sister that I want my sisters to be to me? How does that work? And what planet does it work? Right now, it must be working on Earth, because look at the foolishness that we're going through. Stop that telling people what they need and need not to do. Stop telling people what they should and should not do if you're not living the life that you're talking about. If you're talking about a life of righteousness, if you're talking about a life of helping people, if you're talking about a life of dedication and service, you need to be on that. Not just with yourself, but with your family, the people around you, everybody. Not no selective few. Don't come out here talking about you out here trying to save our people, but you only trying to save a selective few. I don't give a damn what person say or whatever. If you're supposed to be a so-called savior to our people, it don't matter how far down in the mud somebody is. If you're a savior to our people, you're going to get your black ass out there and save them. I do apologize for the profanity, but I'm not cussing. I'm just saying in a way that my people will understand exactly where I'm going. Because, yeah, I'm going to strike some nerves. Yeah, I'm going to make some people upset. Yeah, I'm going to hit some buttons. Yes, that's what I'm here for, to do all that, to strike them nerves in you, for you to understand. Sister Alexia Ali X is not the one to play around. We can sit here all day, go back and forth about this, about that, about whatever. But if you're not practicing what you preaching, you ain't got nothing to say to me. If you're not living the life that you talking about, you can't even come in my aura. You saying you want justice for our people, God damn it, display justice in your own household. We can't be sitting here talking about what we want, what we diss, what we believe, and this, that, and the third, but we're not living the life that we are talking about. That don't work. Them days are long gone, over with, played out, done and over with, game over, flip. We can't do that. That time is done and over with. You want to raise our people by the thousands like we're supposed to, we need to be practicing what we preaching. We need to be living a life that we're talking about. We saying we going to try to be righteous and we going to try to help our people and be saviors to our people. Damn it, we need to do that and stop half-assing. We need to stop doing stuff that's going to hurt and be detrimental to not only to ourselves but to our people. Like I said, Sister Alexia Ali X got a long way to go. This wasn't even the topic of my subject. But I'm going through my own personal battles with a lot of different stuff. So I'm just trying to gain balance. So this particular subject, whether anyone likes it or not, I could care less, because this is not no one else's broadcast. You don't want to hear what I'm saying? Flip the damn station. I don't care. It's not going to bother me whatsoever. Practice what you preach. Don't tell your children, stop lying, or stop doing this, or stop doing that, but you ain't making your word bond. Don't tell your children, listen to your mom, but you're not listening to her. Don't tell your children, listen to your dad, but you're not listening to him. I'm guilty. I know I'm guilty of some of the stuff that I'm talking about, and I don't care about assassinating my own character, because like I said, I'm not perfect, and I know I got a long way to go. But damn it, I'm trying my hardest and my best by Allah's grace and mercy to practice the life that I'm preaching by doing what I say I'm going to do. I say I'm going to be an MGT, and I plan on spending the rest of my life in the ranks. Well, dang it, the least I could do is every Saturday make it to class. That's the least I can do. Bring my children to their class. I'm not going to sit here and pussyfoot around and sit here and beat around the bush. None of that. No, stop telling people what they need and need not to do with their life, and if you're not offering any solution to the problem. You can talk all day, but if you ain't walking that walk, don't even come around me. Don't even come to me. Don't even approach me if you're not walking the walk that you talking. Because, yeah, we could say this and we could say that and we could do all this. Yeah, we can put on for whoever. This ain't no put on for nobody. This is real life. Stop telling people they need to tighten up or they need to do what they need to do. God damn it, look your black ass in the mirror. Look your white ass in the mirror. Look your yellow ass in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror and see what are you doing that you want to point out flaws in somebody else, but look in the mirror at your own flaws. Look at what you doing to cause hurt to people. Look at what you're doing to disappoint people. Look at what you're doing to upset one. You can't just say, oh, this person pissed me off because they did this. What have you ever thought about it? Maybe that's the universe giving you back what you put in. You have to understand, brothers and sisters, the game don't go like how it used to. The game has totally changed. The old game is over. It's a new ball game in play. And that's called trying to enter in the kingdom of the hereafter. And this stuff that we doing in this life ain't going to make it. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to get us nowhere. But a life of misery. A life of hell that we've been living in. A life of destruction. A life of hurt and a life of pain. A life of disappointment. A life of crying. A life of tears. A life of grievance. But Allah came so that he could save us from that. Allah came so that he could give us life and give us life more abundantly. But if we're not practicing the same thing that we preaching, if we're not trying to live the life that we're putting forth, what the hell is it worth us even saying anything about it for? If we're not making it known that this is the life that I'm living, that this is what I'm talking about, but this is the life that I'm living, why are you talking anyway if you're not living a life? If you're not walking in the path that you're talking about? What's the purpose of talking about if you're not living that type of lifestyle? Practice what you preach, brothers and sisters. Like these rappers out here, sitting here getting paid. A lot of them don't even write their own music. They paying ghostwriters to write their music, to talk about their life, but they're not talking about what's really going on in the music industry. They're not talking about these 360 deals. They're not talking about what's going on behind the scenes. They're not talking about how the Jews control majority of Hollywood. They're not talking about not only the Jews, but the synagogue of Satan, period, control everything pertaining to the music and entertainment business. They're not talking about that. Why? Because they're not practicing what they're preaching. They're not even worthy of my time. No one who's not practicing what they're preaching, no one who's living the life that they're talking about, if you're not living the life that you're talking about, you ain't worthy of my time. Why should I waste my time listening to you? Why should I waste my time following you? Or why should I waste my time trying to hear you out if you're not even living the life that you're talking about? That's why I'm only following one man in my life, and that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Because at the end of the day, even though that man is not perfect, he is a perfect example to us. Everything that man said he's going to do, that man trying to make his word bond. That man follows his word. He lives the life that he's talking about. That man is the man of God in our midst. Whether we like it, whether we dislike it, it's irrelevant with God. But that man is the best example that we have of a man who is a man of God. You think you gonna follow Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes and your ass up in jail just like it? How the hell your name Bishop Don Juan, but you a pimp? You're supposed to be practicing what you preaching, brothers and sisters. And I don't care what nobody says. This is going to be a message that's going to touch some people and it's going to hurt some feelings. I could care less. Practice what you preach. Don't tell nobody to listen to you if you don't listen to them. Don't tell nobody to do right by your brothers and sisters if you ain't even doing right by yourself. You have to understand that you can't just say, do as I say and not as I do. Brothers and sisters, our young generation don't want to hear that. They follow the example that's been put in front of us. So if we're going to raise up and raise our people, we have to be standing 90 degrees perpendicular to the earth. We have to be making ourselves be upright. We have to be striving to be upright, striving to make it to the mosque, striving to be among the believers, striving to make our prayers, striving to pay our charity, all of these things, not just one fundamental principle, but all of them. We can't sit here and talk about a life that we not living. Them days is done and over with. My next subject will be modesty, the importance of a virtuous woman in today's society. And this is a road that I wish I had somebody to teach me, because I'm catching hell in trying to be a virtuous woman. I'm catching hell and trying to dress modestly and find the appropriate garments to where I would look like a queen of civilization outside of my MGT regulation uniform. This ain't easy, especially if you haven't had the proper foundation.